Good evening, folks. It's Carl here. I make it 6 o'clock. This is the question and answer session for assignment 1 for ENTP 7311. If you're listening to this recording and you haven't listened to the previous one, I suggest you listen to the previous one first. It's much more. It's got much more information in, and it's much more detailed. What I'm going to do, partly to see if additional people log on, is I'm quickly going to run through the, give a basic outline, a brief overview of the assignment, which is a bit of a repeat of what we did last week, just so that we're all on the same page. So as I say, there's much more detail in the previous recording. So the basic outline of this assignment is there's 2 questions. Question 1, you need to do a 5 to 7 minute presentation selling the idea, and I'll speak to the idea in the next slide. And this is an actual presentation, a video recording that you'll upload probably onto YouTube, and then in this assignment that you submit, there will be a link to that YouTube video so that I can access it and watch it on YouTube. I will then complete the rubric, and your feedback you'll get via the rubric. My question 2 is an essay format question, where an essay has an introduction, the body, and the conclusion. And the introduction will introduce what you're going to talk about. It's all questions about this idea that you have. The body should then answer the couple of questions, and I'll look at the questions. And then the conclusion must take all of this together and sort of give an overview and a where to now, Quo Vadis type of idea at the end. So what is the big idea? Millennium Development Goals. There are, I think it's 17 of them. The 5 on the screen, 6 on the screen have been identified as the priorities for South Africa. You need to go and between those 6 ones on the screen, select one and then suggest. I've got to be careful not to use the word develop, because you do not have to develop the app. But suggest an app that would address one of those. In the essay context, so it's only one of those. You would then do a presentation with slides to show how the app would work, what the app could potentially do, and why government should implement this app. So what you need to include in that presentation is the name of the business and a logo. You must create a new business name, and the business name should basically be the app name, and a logo for that, a name for the app, an explanation of the design and the usage, and the development goal that, sorry, I said Millennium Development Goals earlier, it's just social development goals that you've chosen, and how this will address that goal, and why it will address that goal. Check the assignment itself. It's got a whole host of tools, a logo, all of these type of things. Kayla, can the name of the business and the app be 2 different things? Yeah, the way it's structured is probably they can be the same, but it's probably almost better that they are different. If I remember correctly, I haven't got the rubric open in front of me, but yeah, it's probably better. I know I said the name of the business should be the name of the app, but just thinking of it, it's probably better if it's different, 2 different things. Thinking about it now, I think I think the rubric deals with them separately, so maybe it's better if they do separate issues. So that's the app part. Part 2 of the of this part of the assignment, or question 2 if you prefer, asks a number of questions. The first one deals with what form of the entrepreneurship you would use. I've dealt with these last week, so I'm not going to, or in the recording that I did, I'm not going to go into too much detail. The entrepreneurial method that you'll use for your app, the funding, There are 3 funding methods. In which order would you apply them? Which one do you think is the primary one that you'll try? If that doesn't work, secondary, tertiary, why you've got them in that order. And then lastly is about segmentation, how you'll segment the market, what's the size of the segment, how would you identify the customer, and how much access would there be to the customer. All of these questions, if you write what the textbook says and only what the textbook says, you will get naught for all of those. So please, let's be clear on this. You need to use your app as the example, as the way in which you are doing this, and apply, basically, I would say, probably about 1/3 of your answer would cover what the textbook says, and then 2/3 would be applying that to the your case, to your app itself, and then to obviously just the textbook is not enough. You'll have to get much wider information, much more information from other sources to add to that. So that's my brief introduction, my brief overview of my repeat overview of what I have said previously. And yeah, ask me your questions, ask me clarifications, tell me what you need to know, tell me what's concerning you, what's worrying you. Discussion from there. Oof, okay. Do it under the reference, or do we send it separate? Okay, Kayla, I'm going to be with you now. I'm going to take the question that was typed first. So the app itself, or the link, I think was the question to the app. Let me just get back to this and add the link to the report and the references, or do we send? No. So what you do is in your, and I'm not sure, Rabia, if I'm answering your question. If I'm not, please tell me. So the first thing that you do is you'll have your front page. Obviously, front page starts any assignment. One, and then you'll have the link under question 1. It'll simply say, the link to my presentation is, or just the link under question 1 in the document that you're going to submit. And then there'll be question 2, introduction. You'll start with the introduction and then start answering the questions and then do the conclusion. So you're handing in you're uploading the video somewhere and you're handing in one document. Don't even try, and especially those that are listening to the video, don't even try to upload your video onto VC Learn. You are not going to get it right. It's going to be too big. That's what I'm saying to you. Upload it on another platform and just include the link in the assignment that you submit. Robbie, I think I've answered that question if I understood you correctly. Kayla, sorry, you had your hand up?
Hi, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, it's Kyla, but that's fine. It happens all the time. So I was just wondering,
Okay, Kyla, I'll get back to you. Then if I've got your name, you've got my name wrong. It's not Sir, it's Carl, okay?
Carl. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. I think we've been down this road before. Okay. Okay, so Carl, I was wondering for the pitch deck part, I know that the PowerPoint is like a visual and it's got a bit of summaries and the descriptions and everything. Obviously, it doesn't have 7 minutes worth of speaking, like information on it. So do you want us to also hand in what we've said as in our voiceover for the presentation, or is just being able to listen to it going to be enough with the slides as well?
Okay, so if you go look at if you look at what they're saying in the assignment, you basically pitching this to government. So because we don't have a way of getting you into a classroom and pitching it in front of me or pitching it live, the video is what I look at. So that's what I judge. Whatever's on the video, that's what you get marked on. I had somebody last year that decided that they don't know how to, or they won't do a voiceover on the video. They would just send me a script, and they did very badly and they were very upset. And I said to them, well, sorry, if you're going to send for a government pitch a set of slides and you are going to say, and this is what I would have said, are they going to give you the contract? No, they're not going to give you the contract. So I am looking at the video, and that's all I'm looking at.
Okay,
Does
cool.
that
So it's
make
kind of
sense?
like I was just wondering if because we're online, it must also just send you a copy of like almost like our oral, but it's okay. No, I got it.
No,
So it's just speaking over and then the PowerPoint. We
yeah,
just
so
go
it's
from there.
the PowerPoint, whatever, and I use PowerPoint in the loosest format. There's lots of ways to do that.
Yeah.
I've had people literally standing in front of almost like a classroom setup and having a couple of notes in the board and a couple of things that they showed me and just spoke into the camera. I've had people that I've not seen their face at all. That's just been a PowerPoint. I've had people that have done some funny background video that actually had nothing to do with the topic, like these things that you'll see if you watch deep house music on YouTube with just like the boats floating around the ocean and stuff like that. Just this video playing and them just talking. They didn't do very well. But so I've seen it all. You've got absolute freedom to do the presentation in any which manner you feel, but I am going to look at the link that you send me and judge it on the link that you show me. So how you handle that, whether you do it through YouTube or a different thing, just please, if you use something else, make sure I'll have access. Whether you use PowerPoint, whether you've got a Word document, whether you use Canva, up to you. Okay. I'm going to move on.
Carl, could I ask one
Yeah,
thing quickly that's just separate from the assignment? The
okay.
ICE tasks, is the
Yes.
folders empty? Is it
Yeah, another folder
activities
is
under
empty.
the learning units? Or
Okay.
okay,
So
yeah,
so
that's
what
what I was
what
wondering.
I'm going to do, I've had many queries about this. Before the weekend, I will populate it. So um, you may recall in the first one, I said, look, you guys can do activities and I will want 4 activities. I've had many people say, but what activities? So it's the normal activities within the learning units. But what I'll do by the weekend, I will select a number of activities, which I believe are the most appropriate activities. Because I said I will take any activities, I will take any activities. But if you want to if you want to learn something, the activities I'm going to put up will be the best ones to learn something from. And I'll put up probably between 6 and 8, and you need to do 4 of those. It's the simplest, easiest way for you guys to deal with it. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So there will be activities there, but I will put a clarification note up as well. Okay, Michal, so when you post videos on YouTube, as you post the video, there's an option on is the video public so anybody can see it? There's another option, or is it private? And basically the private ones, you must have the link to be actually able to see it. I think there's one where only you can see it as well. So basically you must just make sure that it's the one where it's private. So only people with the link can see it. You'll only send me the link and that's it. So only I'll be able to see it, or only those people with a link, and I'll be the only person with a link that'll be able to see it because the link will be within your assignment. If you absolutely hate the way I mark and you decide you want to have a remark, if when it goes on to a different person to mark it, they will also have the link because the link is available in your assignment. Michal, I hope that answers your question. Other questions, folks? Anything else you're not sure about? Anything else you want to know? I'm happy to sit here the whole evening discussing it with you, playing around with ideas. But if it senses us sitting here and waiting for somebody else to ask questions, have you all at least got some kind of idea what you want to do and where you want to go with this thing? Yeah, okay. Okay, great. As long as you've got an idea, because I've been saying for a while to people, guys, listen, you need to understand that this is not a it's I don't think it's a particularly difficult assignment. I just think you need to have do the thinking beforehand. Once you've done the thinking, the rest comes quite naturally and quite easily. But if you start 6 o'clock the evening before the assignment is due, and now you start thinking about, okay, so you start reading the assignment, and then you find out what you've got to do, and you figure out, well, you've got no idea how to do a video, you've got no idea how to do a voiceover, and then it becomes very complex and very difficult very quickly. But if you've got an idea and you've thought the idea over, and you've looked at some of the tools that they make available for you, yeah, you should be fine. It's not that difficult. It's just a big thing to get started. Okay, any other questions? Anything you want me to deal with? Okay. Then I must face. Rabia, it's up to you if you want to show your face or not. I don't mind one way or another. If you've got a face like mine that's more suited for radio than TV, then it might be better not to show it. And I doubt if you've got a face like that. But and it's people's preferences. There's nothing that says you must show your face, that there must be a talking head. I've even had people before, and it's I had to think very hard about it, use an avatar to speak. And eventually I decided, well, if that's how they want to present it, I judge it on the presentation I see. And the avatar was a good avatar. It was a professional avatar. It wasn't something out of a sci-fi movie or a cartoon or something like that. And I gave them the benefit of the doubt. But there is nothing that says you must have a face to it. You can simply have a presentation with a voice speaking over it. Yeah, I think that answers you, Rabia. Okay, anything else? Okay, folks, then I'm going to call time on it. I did say from the beginning that this session would simply be Q&A, and as long as there's questions, we will answer them. Please, 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 take my email address down. Make sure, and please remember, guys. Yeah, this is rather important because people forget this. Please remember, you need to go on to Learn. You can do this now. You need to go on to Learn. You need to do the where you submit, where it says submit your. There's that ethics declaration that you've got to do. To say that you've not copied, you've not used AI, etc., etc., etc. You need to go click that and acknowledge that. Otherwise, the links to submit will never become available. Some links only become, if you don't see the link, don't panic. Some links only become available 48 hours before the time. But go do the ethical declaration so that that's done. Because if you don't do that, you're never going to see the link. And yeah, please hand in early, because remember, you're going to have to upload it onto YouTube. Uploading YouTube, I did one this morning, and it wasn't a particularly big one, but it just took 15 minutes to upload to YouTube, and then you get the link, because that's what you're looking for. You need to have the link, and please also check it once it's uploaded. Go have a look at your YouTube video, make sure it's uploaded properly, and then copy the link into your assignment. But please, please, please try to do this. Try to hand in earlier. Don't wait until the last minute. I don't want something to go wrong and then you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and then you start losing marks because you've handed in late. Just for those, if you find it strange for me saying handing in late and you're losing marks, there's a, and I don't know why, they give and they take, but this year there's a 24-hour grace period. So if you don't hand in on the date, I think your date's the 3rd, don't quote me on it. I'm going to check your PAS. If you hand in a day later, within 24 hours, your assignment is still marked, but you lose 15% of the mark. So if you got 60, you will now get a 45. for that assignment. We take off 15%. If your referencing sucks, I take off another 10. Now you're at 35. But it'll still get marked within the 24 hours. That's part of the changes in the assessment policy. So be aware of that. So if you miss the deadline, don't say, damn it, I've missed it, it's a naught. Still hand it in, because you'll still have an opportunity to get some marks for it, but you'll probably be in a hole that you need to dig yourself out. Okay, I've been waffling on, guys. Last chance for any questions, anything else that came up that you'd like to just clarify with me or ask me? Okay, thanks, guys. Good luck, work hard on it. This is also one of those assignments that you can actually do really well in. If you do a nice presentation, and the questions, if you look at those questions in section 2, they're not that difficult. You can go look at the notes and stuff that I've uploaded. You should be fine. Okay, guys, thanks. Have a good evening, and all the best with the assignment. Cheers.